Yeah, this is a tale, oh yeah, a tale of two hygienists. So there might be only one, bringing the best of dental knowledge, and we do it all with ease. We cover oral health and screening, and preventing gum disease. We're gonna do a lot of learning, and have a little bit of fun working at the dentist. A tale of two hygienists.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of A Tale of Two Hygienists, episode number 415. I am your host, Andrew Johnston, and thank you so much for joining us today. Happy holidays. I'm so happy that we had time to kind of hang out together as a family. This has been a little bit different now with a Christmas on a Monday. And so we had kind of like the long holiday weekend, and it was really great to hang out with the kids. I am actually on vacation this week, and so this is going to be a really short intro. I'm really excited what we have coming up for 2024, however. So I think what I'll do next week is I'm going to spend a little extra time kind of walking you through some of the things that we have planned. We have some new segments. We have some recurring characters coming onto the show. I'm really excited about it. It couldn't be any better. So thank you very much for all of your support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling your friends about us. If there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. Andrew at A Tale of Two Hygienists. And with that, we'll jump into the episode with Heather, Liz, and Anna.
A tale of two hygienists.
All right, everyone, welcome into the interview portion of the podcast. I am joined today, Anna, Liz, Heather. Welcome into the show.
Hi.
Hey. Hello.
So what we're doing today, you guys don't have probably too much of a clue. I didn't really tell you what we're doing. I have some questions for you. I have some direction. We have some things we want to talk about. Obviously,
I'm kind of scared.
You should be a little bit.
Is this one of those like the Reddit ask me anything? Like
I actually have your parents here on the line. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yay!
Woo!
They're embarrassed by your
my
episodes
biggest
that you've
fan.
done.
Absolutely not. She'd be so proud.
For real? That's
oh
awesome.
my gosh, yes. She wanted to. She tried to join Rant, and I was like, "Mom, no."
You're like, that's a step too much into my domain. Well, let's talk a little bit about RDH Rant for a little bit, because I feel I want to talk about the podcast and I want to talk about the group for just a quick second as we jump into this, because I was just saying to you, before we started recording, that one of the interesting things about this group versus the other dental groups is that I feel like it has the finger on the pulse of like the everyday hygienist, probably more so than like the quote unquote professional groups, right? Like people are telling their real opinions without being, scared of too much repercussion usually, right? I mean, is that a good assessment?
I
think so.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing to foster that? Like, how did you encourage that behavior?
I think it's like just our group rules are like judgment-free zone. If you don't like a post, scroll. If you don't agree, there's a way to disagree in a not such a negative way, or be like
constructive
combative. Be more constructive in if you disagree than going for someone. And so I think we kind of stay firm on that. I notice in some other groups where there's disagreements and there's name calling and all that, and we kind of try to steer away from that. So I think that helps people feel safe there, where they know that they'll have the backup of, if I say I don't floss patients, because I'm one of those that always gets the backlash for that one.
And rightfully freaking so. But
Yeah.
okay, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that like they can say that. And there's going to be people who are going to be like, that's your job. And how do you not do that? It's standard of care. And that's okay.
The interesting thing that I see is you three are your authentic selves always. And I feel like you allow the members to be. The kind of converse of that is outside of like these, like, I want to say like conference settings or like these social settings for dental professionals. If you're just sitting like with your best dental hygiene friend somewhere, this is pretty darn close to like the conversations you're having. But it's funny kind of how like Rant does get a little bit of a bad reputation. Like you said, we're not raunchy per se, but like people do say that you're raunchy. And I'm like, but if you actually go into the group, it's not that way.
No,
but like
not
they
at all.
also behave that way outside of the group. It's so like two-faced. I get me, it's hypocritical. It bothers me a lot.
I understand that, and it's hard to explain unless you're in there and you get our vibe. And I think a lot of it comes from outside of the group, from people that aren't hygienists. Of course, our name just kind of makes it sound like bad girls of dental. But honestly, I don't feel like there's so much ranting anymore.
Mm.
It's more just like real life stories. Just, hey, I need advice. Hey, can you help me get dressed for this wedding? Or hey,
Yeah.
my husband just left me. I don't know what to do. Or
It's more than a professional group. Yes, that is part of it. That's what brings us all together, but it really is a community. I
Mhm.
Mhm.
mean,
yeah, it is a
we are
community.
yeah, we're there. We support each other, but we also call each other out when, like, there's some bullshit to be
Mhm.
called out. We hold each other accountable, say, "Hey, that's not right." But there is, like you said, there is a fine line between doing that constructively and just coming off as bullies, like some people perceive us to be.
And I think that you've carried that persona, that all 3
Mhm.
of you, that personality, the persona, but also kind of the community of the group into the podcast that you guys have been doing.
Mhm.
How long has it been? A year and a half now of
Yeah.
Yeah.
podcasting? I mean, and
Yeah.
those and I've told you privately, and I'll tell our audience again and again and again, like, those are some of the best performing episodes that we have on the feed are the RDH rant takeovers because
Woohoo.
I think,
Yay.
one, you do bring some of the people from the group over to the podcast, right? Which,
Mhm.
thank
Oh,
you for
absolutely.
that. But I also think that it's the, professional that comes for, like, kinda, I guess, the educational part of what we do, but
Yeah.
they're real people too. Like, they can relate to the stories. So tell
Mhm.
me a little bit about, like, as you're developing kind of themes or episodes, what kind of content are you bringing from the group, or how do you guys kind of idealize, like, what you wanna talk about on the podcast?
I sometimes it sparks from somebody posting something. Like, say somebody has an embarrassing thing that happens at work and it blows up and people start sharing, "Oh, this happened to me too, except it happened this way." And, "Oh, well, you think that that's bad. This is what happened to me today." And we're like, "This is really good content. We should share this." And it's really relatable.
Yeah.
So I think I mean, obviously the majority of our content comes from our members, which we're so grateful to have active members that are hilarious and share the good, the bad, the ugly with us.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's just organic. We'll just look through things like, especially at night, my day is busy. So a lot of times it'll be 10, 11 o'clock. I'm laying in bed, I'm scrolling through rant, and I will be like laughing so hard I have tears coming down my eyes. And my husband's like, shut up, I'm trying to sleep. But I'm like, oh my God, you got to hear this. And then I'm like getting on our group chat. I'm like, did you guys see this post? And then, so a lot of it's organic. And we'll be like, well, let's use that on the podcast. So we kind of add a little
Mhm.
bit of fuel to the fire to get more stories. And then sometimes we just kind of randomly will come up with an idea. We'll make a
Mhm.
post. Hey, for our next podcast, this is what we want to do. This is what we're thinking. What do you guys tell us about this? But yeah, I would say about 100% of everything comes from our group.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yep.
One of the things that kind of comes up in the group, and it's obviously the holidays, is the end of year. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever holiday
Yeah.
celebration that
Same to
you
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 guys.
celebrate. This is the time of year that we have end of year slash holiday parties in our offices, and we always get posts about these, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us
I
some
think
of
that
the
was
things.
last year.
Tell us some of the things that you've seen people post about this year, the good, the bad, the ugly, with like holiday parties. Like, what are the, like, the cool things people are doing that we haven't thought of before, and what are, like, some of the crappy pizza party things that we're doing still?
I think there's a whole range of things. I don't know that I've heard so much this year stories, but there are some really cool things. And then some like offices don't even do anything or
Yeah.
acknowledge
Yeah.
anything.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's pretty
You do that.
crappy.
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather do nothing than have a pizza party.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. I there's always like, "Oh, my boss gave us $1,000 and blah blah blah." And then you'll have the people who comment, "Well, I didn't get anything." And one that does stand out is, I don't even know if it was on Rant. It might have been somebody who just started. Oh, their practice was bought by corporate, I believe. And before, they had always gotten a holiday bonus that they had
Mhm.
depended on. It's very a Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's thing, um, where they were expecting this money. And since they're corporate now, everybody got like $25 gift cards or something like that.
Yeah. Dang.
I
Yeah.
have a story, but I can't share it. I'll tell you after the podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Do all 3 of you get bonuses in your
Um,
offices?
I do not. I mean, sometimes like the CEO will send like $50 here and there, but
Yeah.
generally not. But I don't mind it because I'm paid so well to do what I do. I really am. I cannot complain. So this year we're not even doing a holiday party. We just got bought out, but we're doing our own little thing as an office instead because
Mhm.
I'm corporately owned, by the way. But I never really felt like I feel like a bonus is not a right. I want to say it's like
Yeah.
and it's an extra thing. So they take care of me throughout the year.
Mhm.
So I'm okay with that at end of the year not getting a bonus or whatever because I get bonuses throughout the year and that's more than enough for me. But
You work
but
for a very good corporation,
I
and
do.
they make you feel appreciated.
Yeah.
Not
Mhm.
everybody has that, I
No, I know
feel like, in
exactly,
rant,
yeah.
and
So for me, it's like, I don't care, but I know for
yeah.
others, they rely on it or
Especially this time of
Mhm.
year,
mhm,
people it's the biggest part of spending for people, and I know that for the most part, hygienists make good money, but we all have different things going on in our lives, and so some people would love or need or want that Christmas bonus.
mhm,
Or my office is good. It's a private practice, 2 doctors own us. We're a all female office, there's like 20 of us. They're good to us. They usually do some sort of party, they get us a gift. This year, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. My middle son is a senior, and we had a college visit, so I had to skip it, but, from what I understand, they went to Indianapolis and gave everybody money to go shopping for a family in need, and
Oh, that's nice.
then they went to lunch, and then they got gifts, and they had a great time, so that's usually how
Yeah.
mhm,
ours goes.
Ours was pretty similar. We are also private practice. Doctor usually takes us to a pretty fancy restaurant and we do a secret Santa thing. And then throughout we have stockings. And so throughout like the couple weeks leading up to it, we all like buy little things and put it in everybody's stockings. And then doctor buys us gifts and gives us a little bonus. And so yeah, I mean it's nice. I have no complaints with our
Oh,
Christmas
I
parties.
wanted to
Yeah.
mention Heather has an elf in her office. She has an elf
Yes,
on the
Yeah.
shelf,
I we
yay!
have Elf on the Shelf. I have fun. Her name is Pearl,
Pearl E.
Pearl E.
Whites.
Whites.
Nice. Let's talk about as an end of year conversation, it's been really weird as far as pay goes. And you were saying
Mhm.
that you just get paid so great, so maybe you can't contribute as
No,
much
no,
or
it's not like I work my ass off for my
I'm
She
just
money.
does
kidding.
work her
I know.
ass off.
Double
He
call.
does.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, what are you seeing as far as because the conversation has changed a couple times.
Yeah.
It
Mhm,
was, kind of post pandemic, like, oh my gosh, we're finally starting to get paid enough. Then it's like, okay, well now cost of living is going up. And
mhm,
that's
Yes.
been kind of a thing that's been happening like all year
mhm,
long. Like we talk about cost of living. And then no one's getting raises. And then some people do finally get raises, and then they're taking away, holiday parties now because they
mhm.
gave the raises instead. What are you seeing kind of across the board as far as like where the profession is at for pay?
So, Liz and I are in Indiana,
Yeah.
mid mid state,
Midwest.
Midwest, and so our pay has always just kind of been average. But since COVID and the cost of living and obviously the nationwide hygiene shortage, if there are people that don't know there is a hygiene shortage, you live under a rock.
Hmm.
And I have noticed, and we have noticed through RIA, I mean, we have 13,000 hygienists. So we can see it all. And we see that the cost or the wages are increasing, which is great. A lot
Mhm.
of us deserve better. We work hard. Not everybody is as lucky as us to have great offices and great bosses. And so, yes, hygiene, I feel like, deserves better. But,
I
but,
saw I saw the butt coming a mile away. That was a big butt.
where I know I like big butts. Um, Anna has said this from the beginning.
Mhm.
Do you want to
I was
say
just
what?
gonna say, this is like a sore subject for me because I am on the business side as well as the hygiene side, so I understand both sides of it, and it has to make sense. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So hygiene wages are going up, but reimbursement is not.
Right.
So at what point does it get to at what point is it not financially feasible to employ a hygienist? And that's I see that is where this profession is going, where the ADA is fighting for assistants to have scaling duties, to have more duties, and that the duties between hygienists and assistants is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I think it's got to give somewhere. Like we can't be like, I want $60 an hour. Show me your numbers. Show me where, and I know a lot of hygienists will disagree with that and they don't see that side of it. But, I did hiring for 3 years and I had, it was in right after I started doing that right before COVID. And then after COVID, there was just such a huge shift where I had new graduates coming in saying, I want $50 an hour and I want an hour per patient and I want this and I want that. And I was like, you never even had a scaler in your hand in the real world. Like, where are we going with this?
Exactly.
So there is, I've preached this before where I think, yes, we are worthy, but if the numbers don't make sense, we are not. And we have to make it make sense.
We're shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, like, so where
Look at Illinois.
you want $50 an hour, but you want an hour to do just a pro fee, and that pro fee
Hey,
reimbursement
hey,
is
hey.
only I'm just saying, that pro fee reimbursement is $60.
Yeah.
There's a $10 profit, like that, and then that's going to supplies and overhead, and it doesn't make sense after a while, so,
I think
um
that the conversation has really evolved very quickly in the last 3 years since the pandemic. Because when
Mhm,
everybody came back, there were the hygiene shortage, forced wages up, and blah blah blah. But now I think that we have to throw in, and what a lot of people are looking at as far as their own wages are concerned, is throwing in the inflation on top of everything else. And so it's like, yeah, our wages are up, but now inflation is up so high that, I know that we've seen a lot of hygienists in our group saying, we make good money. Why am I struggling to make ends
mhm,
meet? And
mhm,
so there's kind of like that imbalance in the scales right
mhm.
now
There's just a
as far
lot
as
going on in the world that's
yeah.
Yep.
making things difficult. Like where I live, and I think Liz, maybe you can help me.
Yeah.
I would say in the Midwest ish, and 40-ish an hour is decent. Like
Depending on where
Well,
in Indiana.
just
Yeah.
saying in
yeah.
Indiana, like pre-COVID, 40 was good. I have offices and pre-COVID, like out west, because we had an admin that helped us who lived on the West Coast. They were making $60 an hour pre-COVID.
Mhm,
Anna lives in New York. So the cost is going to be higher, but the cost of living. Right now, there are 2 offices in my small town that need a hygienist, and they are posting $70 an hour.
Yikes.
That's like
70
that's
an hour.
insane.
That is insane.
For Indiana, that's insane.
Like, no way.
Yeah.
So I just feel like
mhm,
that's insane. I feel like I see a lot, and I have a dentist friend of mine who his hygienist left because she was moving out of state, and he's like, "Whatever you can help, I would appreciate it." And I said, "Here's how I'm going to help. When you're interviewing, somebody walks in and demands anything over $45 an hour and just comes to you with all these diva-like demands, show them the door.
Hmm.
Like, you're a great dentist in a great office, and I know you. Like, don't let a hygienist, and I am a hygienist, don't let them come in and give you these ridiculous demands."
Right.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, there are people that this is great. They need this because they've been underpaid. So,
Yeah. No,
So
I agree. I think there's the profession in especially certain pockets. You mentioned the West Coast. The West Coast was already kind of doing all right, and they did go up, a little bit. But I think other pockets went up exponentially, rightfully so.
yeah.
But then back to Anna's point, the whole thing about all of this is like the inflation doesn't just hit hygienists; it hits the doctors as
Yeah.
individual, and also
Mhm,
the
Yes.
business itself. Like they're getting hit with it as well. And if we're not doing something to kind of create more income or generate more revenue, yeah, you're right. All of you guys said that we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're kind of
mhm.
screwed. I kind of want to move on to the next
Yeah.
topic. I have probably 3 or 4 more things. I know we're kind of running short on time. Usually at the end of the year, there is some sort of gift that is given to the owner doctor or some the employer of sorts by the team.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What is like the best idea that you've heard of in recent years of like what you can get them? It doesn't have to be like a really elaborate expensive thing. It can be something, maybe $20 and under or something like that, but something that the owner doctors usually enjoy.
Liz, you wanna tell what you did this year? Because I
Oh,
thought
I
it was
loved
great.
yours. Yours was good.
Um, Well, generally we do a team gift. This year we did not do a team gift. We all gave individually. Just I'm not really sure what the reason was, but that's just how it ended up being. What I did last year, what we did as a team was we all chipped in for a bottle of really expensive alcohol.
Mhm.
Um,
Woohoo!
Ooh,
there's
yeah.
there's an expensive, I don't know if it was like whiskey or something, bourbon. I don't know anything about booze really because I'm not a big drinker. So we chipped in and did that. This year, the gifts were a little bit more personal. What I did was I used AI to design a Pixar type portrait of my dentist. And then I had Ashley, everybody knows Ashley MK with
Art.
her art. I had her do the lettering and it said our office's name, then starring my dentist name under it. And he got such a kick out of it. He was so tickled. That was like the gift for me was watching him open that and just,
hmm
but I mean, just
And
his
it looked just
reaction.
like him. You posted a video of him opening it,
I
and it
did.
just made me smile, his
hmm
reaction when he saw it.
He really loved
It
it.
was great.
Great gift.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
that's what I did this year.
I think it's always hard for my office to come up. We have 2 owners, 2 bosses, they're both great, but they have everything, and
Yeah.
they're
hmm
very different people, and it
hmm
always kinda goes, "Well, what do you get somebody who has everything or can buy it if they want it?" And we
Alcohol.
yeah. Yeah, that's always appreciated by my bosses. This year, we did something different, and I'm still not sure because we haven't given it to them yet, but we raised the amount of money that we always do, and we did a donation in their name.
Hmm.
Like,
I like
I
that.
just went this weekend to our local humane society and did a donation in Doctor so and so's name, and then the other doctor is into this other charity, Young Life or something, so I went online and did a donation in her name.
Hmm.
hmm
Yeah.
And
I
so
like that. I
we're
I've
like that.
seen
printing
ranchers post that before. Yeah.
yeah, so we're just printing out the thing that says that, we
Mhm.
donated, we'll put it in an envelope.
I
I don't
think that's
know.
a great thing. Like if I was a doctor and I was making whatever doctors make, I would love if like my team donated money to say like the ASPCA or like something that's important to me, which is animal
Hmm.
rights or I would love that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's really great.
Yeah.
I think the thing that you guys all mentioned though is you have to know your
hmm
owner individually,
Yes,
right? And I know what they like.
absolutely.
hmm
I think that the buying something for the person who has it all, as long as it's maybe like either an experience, like something that's a shared
hmm
time
Yeah.
together,
Mhm.
or something like like Liz, you were talking about, like that was like really well thought out. They can tell that you put some time and effort into it. They know that you probably got additional people to help you work on it. Like it was a big production for them, and
hmm
I'm sure not only does it look cool, but it's also like it's from your heart. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, holiday parties. Sometimes, let's not do holiday parties. Let's do like at home family events for the
Oh,
holidays.
yeah.
Ham or turkey?
Neither.
I don't eat
Neither.
pork. So I'd rather have turkey. I will not eat
We
pork.
do
So
finger foods.
My daughter's allergic to turkey and none of us really like ham, so
We just do finger foods.
we do
Really?
fish. We do
we
fish on
we did
Christmas
a
Eve.
taco bar
Oh,
for
yeah.
Thanksgiving.
That sounds awesome.
See, we
Yeah.
do Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's not my deal. I hate it, but I always end up cooking it all.
2.
And
You hosted 2 this
I
year. Don't
hosted 2
forget.
this year.
2 Thanksgivings.
So
Because Heather
I
doesn't know how to say no.
We're working on
I'll
her.
keep that in mind later on when I have
No,
a
yeah.
favor to ask.
we're working on you'll have to get through Anna and I first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I wasn't gonna host Christmas, but anyway, so I guess I am. But
She doesn't know how to say no.
Hmm.
we're doing
Mm,
finger foods. I'm
yeah.
making
Nice.
sure the bathroom is clean, and that's it.
No,
Finger foods.
I do Christmas Eve, and Italian tradition is on Christmas Eve, you do not eat any meat at all, so we do a whole fish feast, and I host every year. It's like 25 people in my house, people running all over the place. It's freaking crazy. I love it, even though it's chaotic.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
we do everything like fried shrimp, fried calamari, like the whole
Ooh, I wanna
9
come.
yards. You
That sounds
should.
good.
My
I was
mother-in-law
When
invited
invited.
you.
Oh,
My
send
mother-in-law
me your
invited you.
address. We will be there.
We do. I know we're short
Start
on
driving
time.
the day before.
We're
Um,
short on time. We had a very funny thing really quick.
Yeah, Anna's mother-in-law texted, like, it was an old like group
10
chat,
people?
and 18 people, and Heather and I were and Ashley were on that, and she was like, "Can you
What's
guys come
everyone want
over
for
for?"
Christmas?
Yeah, we were like, "Who is
She was
this?"
like, "You want roast beef or do you want turkey?" Or and
She was
I
like,
didn't know who it
"Oh,
was, and I was at work after it was Wine Wednesday after work. We were, like,
oh."
making gingerbread houses and drinking some wine and or rum maybe, but, um, I re thought it wa I didn't know it was, and I said, "I prefer to drink my Christmas dinner, but whatever." And then come to find out it was, like, Anna's mother-in-law and
Yeah,
family, and I'm like, "Oh, but it was the funniest, like
it
Yeah,
was
it
funny,
was
yeah.
yeah.
hilarious.
It
I
was like
definitely wanna come after that because Anna's family
I know,
seems
so she
fun and
invited us
cool.
all.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
So she
Yeah.
sends me a separate text like, "Oh, so we're hosting Christmas Day. What do you want to bring?" I'm like, "I'm bringing the people that you just invited in the other group text."
All right, last question.
Yes.
That's gonna be kind of a downer compared to all those stories.
Aw.
But okay, here's the question: are you ready for retirement?
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
My
Financially, all that
retirement
stuff. You guys are
No,
plan
not
ready to go?
financially.
Okay.
Physically, yes. Not
my
financially.
retirement plan is death.
Yeah.
There we
So's mine.
go.
All
Isn't
right.
that the
Spoken like a
isn't
true
that the
No.
hygienist.
isn't that
No.
the Gen X way? I
I
mean,
mean,
that's just what it
I'm
is.
gonna
I
die
mean,
with scalers in my hand. That's what I
Yeah.
always say. I'm gonna die on a patient. You need SRP, and I croak.
no. I'm ready, mentally, emotionally,
Physically.
not quite yet financially, but not like I'm gonna die doing hygiene. I mean,
Yeah.
my husband works, and obviously I work, so we have those, you know, retirement things going on through our works. But
I would like to
if
move
I
on from
retired
clinical.
now, I would,
Can I just
get some
go
pennies.
segue a little bit about retirement? My view
Yeah.
on retirement is this is we work our entire lives for this retirement that may never happen. My dad worked his ass off his entire life, retired and died 3 months later, leaving behind all of his retirement. And I feel like my view on it has changed, and
Yeah.
I'm going to live for now. I'm going to do what I want now, go on
Yeah.
vacation, do what
We
you
do
know,
that too.
yeah, I'm gonna save for my kids, obviously, like their college funds and whatnot. But retirement is not something I know
You're
that's so
guaranteed.
bad. It's not something I'm guaranteed, so it's not something that I'm gonna like freak out about it. I'm not. I mean, I do have retirement accounts, obviously, with a little cushion, but I know it's supposed to be what is it? I forget
Like
it
20 years or
like
something. 20
3
years or
times
17.
your 1 year salary to retire or
I don't
something
know.
like that. I don't even
My
know what it
husband's
is,
just like, "I wanna be a
but
billionaire by the time we retire, so
it's
I'm
not
doing this,
gonna
this, this, and this."
happen. It's, and I'm okay with that, and I'm probably with the life that I live, I'm not a healthy person, I never work out, I eat like shit. I'm probably not going to live to see much of retirement, so
Girl, you'll probably live to be 110.
You'll be the
my
one that
luck
never
I
dies.
know, my luck, I'm gonna be here and I'll be like, "Someone kill me."
Those old people are just like, "I'm just ready to
I
go."
don't wanna live to be 100. I don't. I
I don't
don't.
either.
I don't.
I
I'm
do.
okay with living
I
to
do. God,
be
I wanna live
Do you?
forever.
no.
Ew.
Fuck this,
I
no.
don't even wanna be reincarnated back here. No.
I wanna be
I'm done.
reincarnated as a
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
I wanna come back as a
No.
dog.
I wanna come back as
I wanna lick my own
Anna's
ass.
iguana.
Yes, or Anna's dog or Anna's iguana, yes. That's how I
She's
wanna come back.
she's very good to her animals, even though they're assholes.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that was a little more lively than I thought it was going to be. So thank you very much. Typical rant fashion. It ended up being pretty decent. Thank
Yeah.
you all for being here. If anyone wanted to reach
Thank
out to
you.
you, how can they reach out to you individually?
Don't. No, I'm only kidding.
Individually?
Um,
Don't. No. So we're all on Facebook, we're all on Instagram. You have to be a hygienist to join RDH Rant.
Yes.
But if it's something that you just have a question or just want to be a creeper, you can send us a private message on Facebook. We have
Mhm.
Instagram. You can follow us. We do have a TikTok, but I don't know if it's up and running.
That's 2024 resolutions. We're gonna try to market ourselves a little bit better slash more slash whatever.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
Woo.
Yeah, this is a tale, oh yeah, a tale of two hygienists. So there might be only one, bringing the best of dental knowledge, and we do it all with ease. We cover oral health and screening, and preventing gum disease. We're gonna do a lot of learning, and have a little bit of fun working at the dentist. A tale of two hygienists.